Hey guys, welcome back to Hike Oregon. We are here at Twin Lakes. Mono Village, I think, is where we're parking, and we're about to start a 6-day trek into the Sierra here. We're gonna do a loop. Don't really know the name of it. We're calling it the Benson Lake Loop, and we're pretty excited. There is a fire that started yesterday on our drive down. Super unfortunate, and it's like basically just south of us, about 85 miles. So we're seeing some smoke from it, which again is unfortunate, but we will deal with that. Right now we can't smell it or anything. It's staying pretty high, so that's great. Yeah, we're super excited. Gonna do about 50 miles, so I will catch you guys on the trail. Our first stop along the way was having a little snack at Barney Lake. This was a stunning lake, however the smoke really started moving in thick. We could hardly see the mountains in the distance. From the lake, the trail started going uphill a little more steeply, and we crossed some creeks and got some gorgeous views up until we hit about 9,200 feet, and there we came to a trail junction. Look at this view in front of us.
Oh, wow.
That's stunning.
Oh my gosh.
Just like that rock.
Yeah. Amazing.
So this is the junction where our loop actually started, and so we went in the direction of Mule Pass, and we passed a couple of bodies of water and then finally came to Crown Lake, which was our destination for the night. Unfortunately, we missed a lot of the good campsites because they were quite hidden at Crown Lake. So where we set up camp wasn't actually very ideal. It was kind of surrounded by a marshy area, so the mosquitoes were pretty gnarly there. But it was absolutely stunning. The smoke moved in really thick at like 4:30. It looked like it was 7 p.m. And we were actually debating whether or not we were going to continue our trip, but we weren't going to make any decisions until we saw how the smoke was the next day. We actually got really lucky the next day, woke up to clear blue skies, and headed up to Mule Pass. Mule Pass is at 10,470 feet, and it was pretty easy to get to. It was a little over a mile from our camp at Crown Lake. Mule Pass is where you enter Yosemite National Park. So at this point, you do have to have a permit, and no dogs are allowed past this point. From Mule Pass, we could actually see where we were headed down the hill and over to Burro Pass. It was a little unfortunate. You do have to go downhill and lose a lot of elevation and then go right back up to Burro Pass. Burro Pass is at 10,650 feet, and we actually had lunch right before the summit of Burro Pass because we just couldn't make it. It was getting a little too late in the afternoon and we were very hungry. From Burro Pass, we headed down through the Matterhorn Canyon for quite a few miles, almost 5 miles. The later it got in the day, the more smoky it got as well, as we were getting closer and closer to the fire. It was just funneling into that Matterhorn Canyon. This was our campsite. At this point in the day, the smoke was starting to move in thick again, and we could really smell the smoke, but again, we got so lucky that whole day. The campsite was near the creek, but not right on the creek, and we had dinner over here because you're in bear country and you're supposed to eat quite a ways away from your tent. We ate over there by those rocks, and that's also where we stashed our bear canisters. The next day, we continued hiking down Matterhorn Canyon, and we connected with the Pacific Crest Trail. This was an absolutely stunning spot where we filtered water, and I just felt so lucky to be there in this moment and just listen to the gurgling water and just enjoy this insane landscape. We crossed this creek and continued down the Pacific Crest Trail and went uphill a lot again. Then we had lunch at Benson Pass. Benson Pass was one of the easiest passes, I would say, but again, still really difficult. At 10,140 feet. It is one of the easier passes, but it's by no means easy, especially for us who live at like 400 feet elevation. So we had lunch at the top of Benson Pass, and it was a very, very beautiful place to eat. And after that, we made our way downhill all the way to Smedberg Lake. We got there fairly early with enough time to do a lot of fun things like go swimming, and our camp was just so lovely. It was by far my favorite camp of the entire trip. Nestled among these giant trees, view of the lake, granite rocks behind us. It was absolutely beautiful. We washed some of our clothes and then enjoyed the sunset from our dinner spot high up on the rock. The next day was rough but short, and from here I'm actually showing you down here is Benson Lake, where we are spending the night, and then up here is where we are going the next day, and that is Seavy Pass. It looked absolutely insane from here, very, very difficult, and I was like, oh my gosh, we are doing that, but it actually ended up not being hard at all. Benson Lake was absolutely glorious. There is a sandy beach, and you basically camp in the sand, and it's absolutely insane. It's a huge lake nestled in a granite bowl. Unfortunately, it did storm pretty much all afternoon, so we couldn't really enjoy the lake as much as we had hoped, but it was stunning nonetheless, and there was only one other group of campers at this lake. Day 5, we hiked up Seavy Pass, which is dotted with a bunch of these little no-name bodies of water. And from Seavy Pass, we hiked downhill and we left the Pacific Crest Trail. And from here, we went through a valley, absolutely stunning valley, and through Carrick Meadows. The whole day was very, very warm and quite humid, to be honest, and it kind of made for a hard day. It was one of our longest days as well. Peeler Lake was incredible, a super deep lake, deep blue color, absolutely stunning. We got to our camp, no one else was there, and we got to play in the water for a little bit. The sun stayed out just enough for us to get our feet wet and enjoy it. And day 6 was our hike out from Peeler Lake. It again was very, very warm, and we hiked luckily downhill the whole way. We got so lucky on this day. We got to see all the views that we missed on day 1 when there was a ton of smoke. So we got to see Barney Lake again and really take it in this time, and it was so gorgeous. hope you enjoyed this little Sierra vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next adventure.